happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, procures success to the weak, and esteem to all. The foolish and wicked practice of profane cursing and swearing is a vice so mean and low that every person of sense and character detests and despises it. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. Guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism. It is better to be alone than in bad company. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. To be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving peace. If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. It is impossible to govern the world without God and the Bible. Observe good faith and justice toward all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony with all. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. True friendship is a plant of slow growth and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity before it is entitled to the appellation. Let us raise a standard to which the wise and the honest can repair. The Constitution is the guide which I never will abandon. The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the republican model of government are justly considered as deeply, perhaps as finally, staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people. The foundations of our national policy will be laid in the pure and immutable principles of private morality. The best and only safe road to honor, glory, and true dignity is justice. Honesty will be found on every experiment to be the best and only true policy. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. The bosom of America is open to receive not only the opulent and respected stranger, but the oppressed and persecuted of all nations and religions, whom we shall welcome to a participation of all our rights and privileges. My observation is that whenever one person is found adequate to the discharge of a duty, it is worse executed by two persons, and scarcely done at all if three or more are employed therein. To be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving peace. Let your heart feel for the afflictions and distress of everyone, and let your hand give in proportion to your purse. Discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, procures success to the weak, and esteem to all. Government is not reason, it is not eloquence, it is force, like fire, a troublesome servant, and a fearful master. Experience teaches us that it is much easier to prevent an enemy from posting themselves than it is to dislodge them after they have got possession. The Constitution vests the power of declaring war in Congress. Therefore, no offensive expedition of importance can be undertaken until after they have deliberated upon the subject and authorized such a measure. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. The time is near at hand, which must determine whether Americans are to be free men or slaves. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. My observation is that whenever one person is found adequate to the discharge of a duty, it is worse executed by two persons, and scarcely done at all if three or more are employed therein. Arbitrary power is most easily established on the ruins of liberty abused to licentiousness. The Constitution vests the power of declaring war in Congress. Therefore, no offensive expedition of importance can be undertaken until after they have deliberated upon the subject and authorized such a measure.